All right, so I picked up something not too long ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, as part of a fragrance haul, and I spent a little time with it. Had some time to kind of play around with it, see what it's working with, see kind of how it comes off, and we're going to talk about it. We're talking about from French Avenue. This is Vulcan Sable. We'll talk about it here in just a moment. Stick around. All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, and you're watching Smell Goods. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hanging out with me for just a little bit as we talk these fragrances. We talk that Smell Goods game. We talk about clones. I might even break into some other things that kind of deal with smelling good. Maybe beard oil. Might even do car fragrance. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But this is your home for Smell Goods. Coming soon, wherever that might include. So, if this is content that you enjoy, you know what to do by now. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications, and share. Meet me in the comments. All right. So as I mentioned in the opener, got a new fragrance in a few weeks ago. A little too hot for me to really wear it here. But it is coming around that time where it's going to be broken out a little more. But I have had some time to kind of play around with it, kind of spend some time kind of getting to know this fragrance, and that sounds, but spend some time with it just because working from home in air conditioning, I can test it out a little better. All right. So of course I am talking about from the house of French Avenue. I am talking about Vulcan Sable. Now, if you want to look what the box and all that fun stuff looks like, I'll try and remember to pin the video somewhere up here where I did the unboxing / fragrance haul, first impression type thing. We're past that now. I don't even know if I have the box anywhere around. Probably do, but I'm not digging for it. All right. Anyway, so again, Vulcan Sable. As far as the bottle, you have that snake that's wrapped around there. You have, looks like snake skin, kind of paint, if you will, up there. Top, you've got French Avenue. Nice bottle. All right. Let's open it up. Okay, atomizer. Let's get it on skin. I've already sprayed it on this side, so we can kind of talk through the drive down. As far as in the air. So in the air on this, again, this is doing its take, if I didn't mention it before, this is doing its take on Stefan Hubert Lucas Sand Dance, right? And so in the air, and I've smelled Sand Dance once before, right? So we're going off of fragrance memory as far as just kind of what I remember about that fragrance as it relates to comparing with this. Now, in the air, this does kind of fill this space a little. It's not a room filler. It's a step below a room shifter in my opinion, but you can kind of catch it in the air, right? Yeah, you can get it in the air. It is when you first spray, you do get some of that whiskey that's in there. Now, just from fragrance memory, again, take this with a grain of salt. I don't have Sand Dance right here to compare it with to give you a side-by-side. But one of the things I do remember about Sand Dance is that there was the booziness was really amped up in it. Not saying there was overkill, but there was a strong booziness in the opening of Sand Dance. This doesn't necessarily have that same potency of booziness, right? The way I would put this is, if we're talking whiskey, right? For those of us that drink whiskey, that drink bourbon, what have you, there is, of course, the strength of it when you are just taking it neat, which means no ice, nothing in it, versus when you have it, for example, with a nice craft ice cube in there. When you first put it in or pour it out and put it in with the craft ice, it dilutes it a little, but the more you let it sit there, it begins to dilute it even more. This is kind of a diluted whiskey to me. All right. What I mean by that is that you still get the whiskey, you still get the booziness of it, but it's not as strong. It's not as potent as I recall it being in Sand Dance. Not a deal breaker, but it does, if we're talking about, is this a one-to-one? If you're coming from Sand Dance and looking at this and saying, is this a viable clone for you? I'm going to say it puts you in the space, but if you're looking for that upfront boldness of that booziness, it's kind of missing that, right? But again, let me say this, it's in the space, it's in the room, right? It's in that area with Sandance, so it's not enough for me that's a deal breaker. It's just something I picked up and noticed, right? You do get some of that orange accord in there as well. You get some of that sweetness that comes off, it comes off almost chocolatey, even though the notes don't have chocolate in them. And one of the differences between Sandance versus this, just looking at the notes, in fact, let me give you the notes, that way we can kind of go through that. But on the notes for this Vulcan Sable, you've got up top, you've got mandarin orange, you've got whiskey, you've got orange and coriander seed, okay? Middle notes, you've got cashmere, tonka bean, aniseed, and styrax, all right? And then in the base notes, you have vanilla, benzoin, and patchouli, all right? Now, comparing that with Sandance, you're gonna hear some differences in there, right? In Sandance, up top, you've got whiskey, coriander, mandarin orange, sesame, and anise. In the middle, you've got cacao, which is not in the Vulcan Sable, right? You've got sandalwood and you've got cashmere. And then in the base notes, you've got tonka bean, benzoin, styrax, white cedar extract, patchouli, vanilla, and cashmere wood. So some things that are missing. So we're not even going to try and play that this is a one-to-one. This is an interpretation. This is a take. This is a twist, if you will. This is an outline, if you will, right? Because it's missing some stuff, right? It's not the full expression. So is it in the space? Absolutely. Is it something that if you're looking for a scaled down version of Sandance and something that you're like, I don't want to spend on Sandance, but I want something that gives me that scent profile, I think you won't be disappointed with that, right? When we get to the dry down, and again, I've sprayed it on here already, sprayed it here about maybe 30 minutes before I'm filming this. On skin, after it's been here for a while, you still get that sweetness of the vanilla. You do get some of that creaminess of the sandalwood, but a little earthiness of the patchouli in there. This dries down very nicely. It just kind of flows in with it. The whiskiness, or excuse me, not the whiskiness, but the booziness is kind of faded a little more to the background. It's not even there really in the dry down. In the dry down, you get more of the sweetness, woodiness, even a little earthiness there. The booziness is kind of just an undercurrent, if you will. All right, that's my thoughts on it. As far as performance, what I could get from it, just again, and granted, I'm around my house in air conditioning, not going outside in 112 degree weather with this. But as far as what I can recall getting when I've worn it around the house, I'd be confident saying 7-8 hour mark. It's not going to be beast mode. You're not going to be 12 hours smelling like this, but because this fragrance for me is not going to be an office fragrance, this is going to be more of a night out type of fragrance. This is going to be more of an after hours type fragrance or a weekend type fragrance. I don't necessarily need it to be beast mode. I don't need it to last, from 7 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. I don't need that for this fragrance. All right, that's it. I think I've given you enough to help you at least get an understanding of what's available with this Vulcan Sable. I mean, it smells good. I'm definitely looking towards wearing it as it comes towards the cooler weather. I just get a little longer to wait than most of y'all, just because, again, today when I'm filming this in August, it's 112. Yeah, it's hot. All right, but that's it for this one. You can get this for under $50. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all I want to tell you. All right, yeah, listen, y'all have a good one. Stay safe, stay sane, stay smelling good. And then, of course, hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notification, share, meet me in the comments, and then check out the videos as well as check out the links in the description. We'll see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed. Peace.